Howdy folks, Little John. It's bottling day on the second batch of the Great Northern experiment, the Great Northern clone trial. I did a video on this just before Christmas on brew day, and sort of talked about what's going on, and then I didn't get around to posting it up. And what seeming I'm actually doing this, might as well have a chat about it while we're bottling up. So not going to be real lot to look at. This one you've seen me bottling before, so this is nothing new. But if you I suppose if you're newer to the channel and you haven't seen the bottling, then it's getting just a little bit out of hand. Bottles aren't cold. These fairly carb, so it's a little bit gassy, but going alright. Getting nicely filled bottles, nice and cold. There's good gas. There's gas floating around in there, so I'm pretty happy with that. But it's picking up, but I'm pretty happy with the how the colour's looking there in the bottle. Now I'm going to keep going. I'm going to pour myself a little bit of a taster. So while I'm doing that, big shout out to all Little John's patrons. Guys, thank you for your support. Subscribers, thank you as well. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button down there at the bottom. Hit the link to Patreon down below in the description if you're interested in seeing what that's about. Other than that, hit the like button if you're watching. So that's what we're pulling off now. This is nice and cold. This is was under a degree cold crash. Sitting down there, it's in the new bloody Keg Junior. I can't figure the actual bloody exact name for them. The Keg King Junior. Let's just go with that. 20 litre fermenter. I'm not going to get up on the camera just at the moment, but I'll take a snapshot. Just grab a photo of that and I can pop that up. For those who aren't sort of aware, these are the first batch I've done, and I got them a little bit before Christmas, because it was getting difficult doing split batches in the fridge. I couldn't fit too big of fermenters into the fridge, and I'm normally using one fridge with extractor, so this meant I can now do a full split batch and do both at the same temp in the fridge, if I choose to. So, oh, that's got that bloody, none too pleasant aroma that Great Northern has. Oh, look, okay, without having one here side by side, geez, I tell you, we're getting down to the nitty gritty with this now. Certainly getting close. Pop a link up the top to the last tasting session on the Loaded Dog, which is what has led me to being where we are, and that is trying to actually nut out a clone after having that one comes what I thought was tasting fairly close. Now, what I've done is I've brewed two batches, two 12 litre batches, and as I discussed on that Great Northern, on the original video, the tasting of the Loaded Dog, this half batch I'm doing at the moment is that Loaded Dog recipe. It's just been cut back with the grain to what essentially is 91% of the grain bill on the loaded dog. So I calculated that was going to get it. I did comment on the video, on the tasting video, on one of the comments, not sure exactly where it was, but I thought I was at about 88%. 91 was what I calculated that to get the numbers right in brew fibre. And I toned the bittering down. Top of my head, the loaded dog was, I think it was 18. This one I've pulled down to 15. And tasting now, it just seems to be a little bit closer to the mark. That loaded dog, as much as it's still got a lot of this GN character, it certainly carried a noticeable extra amount of flavour. So yeah, so this fella's been tamed down a little bit. Now I'm trying to get a gravity reading, because what problem I did have that was as I was getting down into the half batches, because I had done, the loaded dog was done as a full batch initially, so that meant that I got a better efficiency than what I did out of these half batches. I allowed for it, but the efficiency ended up even a bit lower than I had calculated. So what I was looking at was that instead of having a final ABV of around 4.2%, which is the Great Northern Original, which is really what I was after, it's come out where it's looking, if I hit target final gravity, it's going to come out more like the Super Crisp, the mid to 3.5, which is what the bottles are here. So if it goes out, I'm not particularly concerned, because Great Northern's Great Northern. So I just need to get this gravity sample there out of this to see where it's finished. It's quite gassy, so I'm going to let that sit just for a little bit. While I fix on the yak in here a little bit, I can got the laptop fired up so I can bring up the brew fibre recipe and stuff, because I don't actually have any note. I didn't write anything down on this one. It's all in brew fibre. So I'm pretty happy. I'm happy with the gas level I've got here on these. I'd let this get to 16 psi under pressure before I cold crashed. Look, I've got to say, for like straight out of the fermenter, it's it's a beer I don't want to drink, but I'm thinking it's pretty, yeah, I think she's on the mark where we need to be. So yeah, I didn't expect this to be, like I said, I'm not a great Northern fan. It's actually interesting. It does show that bloody, it's not that far off bloody potentially being a have got the potential to be decent. The loaded dog, I said, which isn't that far off, it's quite drinkable. It's quite nice. So it does slim down that lower end of the mega full range, but that's exactly what it's supposed to do. Yeah, it's an Aussie lager. It's simple and easy drinking. But at 4.8, 4.9%, at 22, well, last one, 18 sort of IB at the, well, actually I think it was 22 IBI. I think it was the change from prior to Ringwood, which I normally use, to the Super Pride, which had made this the softer finish. So it's not particularly similar whilst being similar at the same time. Same but not the same, yeah, that sort of thing. So as I said, yeah, this one was the knockdown. That looks like she's sitting. That's not going to make it difficult. About 1008. So I just want to bring it up and see where we finished in comparison to what our estimate was. This is 91% loaded dog. So original gravity was 1036. Okay, so we're working on 1010. We've got 1008, which I said could be. Actually, looking like what 10. Actually, does look like 1010 as it's sitting there. The bubbles are with gases lifting a bit. No, I think it's 1008. Anyway, at 1010, this was going to come out at. It was 3.5%. Okay, that makes it 3.7%. So it's a little bit over the super crisp, but certainly in the range. So yeah, it's definitely 1008. So we've got nice attenuation. Now that's the other thing of this is this is a different yeast. I've used on this half low brew diamond lager. On the loaded dog I'd use 3470, and I'll be certainly using 3470 on the final bit. But it's going right here. It's got a nice attenuation, 77%. Which is nice. Yeah, nice for the style for the lager. Certainly a nice range. You want to happy range that we're getting. So the diamonds worked all right. I've got to get through finish bottling this. I'm going to come back with the second half. So I'll shut the camera off now. Get this fish. I'll come back when I'm in the middle of doing the next half, another batch. And have a quick chat about that and see what gravity comes up at and how it looks. Rightio, we're into batch number 2. The hydro sample just sitting there. She's still riding a bit of gas, but looking at that, it's looking like it's going to be pretty much around the same mark. Yeah, give it time to settle, but it looks like it's going to be around that 1008. I'll confirm these numbers in the comments. But this fella is, obviously it's a different recipe. And what this half is, or this batch, is, this is the recipe I originally designed when I was going to do the Great Northern Climb. As I discussed in that loaded dog video, I was in the process of trying to work up a climb when I made the discovery of how sort of close the loaded dog was. So I was working on this grain bill, and I'd ordered grain for it. Which is well, I've gone ahead and brewed it, and I wanted to compare how it looked. Because this one is all Australian malt. except for a little bit of it's got some crystal malt in it, which is, I think, English. I think I've got Simpson's crystal here at the moment. But the base malt is Barrett Burston, ale malt, and a bit of, and some Munich, where the loaded dog, I think, is a Gladfield Pilsner with the amount of caracal and some crystal. So, but what I've done when I've worked the recipe, I've worked it to be the same colour, same original gravity. The only difference was that there was one less IBU in this brew with the hops. I just changed the hop schedule just a tiny little bit. I moved it. One's got a 10-minute addition, one's got a 15-minute addition. That's the only real difference, which tallied up to one less IBU in this brew. And this one's also been done with White Labs 930, the Mexican lager yeast. Now, again, not because I thought that might be the right yeast to use, because I had it here and I needed to use it. I wanted to get some stock build up, wanted to get some slurries done, and also, be able to have a look at how the beer works, how the yeast works. So that's there in the glass. That's the other version. Now, this is the two of them in the bottle as well. This is that first batch, this one's the second, and it looks to be, to me, just a little bit darker. I'd say 2 shades on the scale, and that's about it. And that looks to be sort of the same. It is a different colour. Don't adjust that. And potentially that might even be closer to the colour that we're looking for. But this brew suffered the same thing with the efficiency as the first batch did, and started off with a low gravity. What is the actual? Well, the other batch was 1036. I think this was 10. Okay, yeah, this was 1030. This started at 1037. So if it's finishing at 1010, I thought that 10:08. Like I said, it looks like it's going to. That's potentially going to be more around 3.8, 3.9%. So it's getting a little bit closer to the full strength, the original. So they're both sitting in between. Okay, there seems to be a bit more sweetness in that one. Yeah, there's a fair whack of difference in the flavour. Okay. Well, like I said, there is a difference in the flavour there. Whether it's which one's closest will require some further tasting and testing, because what I am looking to get, hopefully get a couple of local fellas together and do some testing, do some triangle testing, some blind tasting, and see which version comes up the closest, and actually how they compare to the Great Northern on a side-by-side basis, so they can nut out from there what the final changes are to get that the final version right. I've commented on a few posts and whatnot that I don't want to spend a lot of time working on this. I don't want to make a large amount of this beer, because, what is it? It's not a beer I don't want that much of it. So V3 will be my final look at it. And I said I think I'll be pretty happy at that point to be able to actually pen and publish the brew father. What I'm going to be happy enough to call my clone of a Great Northern. Certainly not going to be my recommended recipe for Australian lager, but it will be my go-to for people when they want a Great Northern clone. And at the end of the day, that's for those people who are doing it. Not that this one an Aussie lager. I've got a better recipe than this one, but this is specific beer, specific recipe that people will specifically ask for. So that's so anyway, guys, that's it. I'm not going to drag this out any longer for you. I know there's not a lot of information in regards to the grain bills and stuff at the moment, and that's and that's just how it is. I'm not going to release this recipe until I get to the final one. Just the way it is. Sorry. It's almost trade secrets. Like I said, it's not that hard. The loaded dog recipe's there. This batch I'm currently doing, the second batch, it isn't there. It's different, but you will get the final recipe. Realistically, it's probably going to be a little while because I've got to get a group together to get this tasting done. Probably got one or two other brews I want to get done before I go back to this. But it won't be real far off. It'll be inside the next couple of months. So yeah, keep your eyes tuned. But as always, questions, comments down the bottom. Go for your life. Patrons, thank you guys for your support. Subscribers, thank you. Links are all down the bottom. Link to Patreon, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like what's going on. But that's me. I'm done. I'm out of here. So till I see you again, brewing beer, drinking beer, talking beer, good brewing.